the business ethics. Business ethics. And we will talk now about the business ethics and the main points we had to talk about it, but to cover it. Okay, so this is the business ethics. And when we talk about the business ethics, according to Crane, this is one of the people who talk about the business ethics, and let me enlarge it, make it so large so we can see what is in this, let us see, yes. According to business ethics, Crane, business ethics is the study of business situations, activities, and decisions where issues of right and wrong are addressed. So studying the issue of the business ethics will tell me what am I supposed to do and what am I supposed not to do. And we talk about this because we said there is a very a very thin thread line between the ethics and the law, because some of the law resources is the ethics and the customs and the beliefs and the origin of any and the religion of any ethnic. So the law and the ethics in general are very, very close to each other. Okay, so we are studying also in the ethics what's supposed to be and what's supposed not to do, what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed not to do. Business defines the ethics of business is the ethics of responsibility. The businessman must promise that he will not harm knowingly. So not to do it purposely, not to harm purposely. If the harm comes like indirect way, or as example, I was not conscious of what I'm doing or whatever, is not like when you do it purposely. Okay, you didn't mean it, but not like what you mean it. Okay, features of business ethics we have here. There are 8 features, major features of business ethics. Those are, what are they? Code of conduct. Business ethics is actually a form of codes of conduct. It lets us know what to do and what not to do. Business must follow this code of conduct. Based on a moral and social values, the business ethics features, it is based on the moral and the social values. And we have spoken before about this point, that the law is derived from social values and from moral values and from religion and whatever too. So this is another point. Okay, also the third point which we want to talk about here is about the based on social values and protection of social groups. So the business ethics protect various special social groups, including consumers, employees, small business persons, governments, shareholders, creditors. All those are being protected by the business ethics. It should be protected by the business ethics. Okay. So this is about the business ethics. Also, the business ethics offer a framework. Offer a framework of what? Offer a framework it offers a basic framework. Business ethics is the basic framework for doing business properly. It constructs the social, culture, legal, economic, and other limits in which a business must operate voluntarily. So no one is forcing you to do this. No one is forcing you to apply the business ethics. Business ethics is meant to be voluntary. It should be self-practiced and must not be enforced by law. The business ethics is something inside you and me, and we are raised on human skills. It is derived from the human skills, from the moral, from the religious, from the principles of our back culture, all those together form what to do and what not to do. What is considered legal inside our chest, inside our hearts, and what is not, we feel that it's not nice and not legal and bad to apply it in other our conscious. Requires education guidance. Business should get proper education and guidance about business ethics. A trade association and chambers of commerce should be active enough in this matter. Relative term, business ethic is a relative term. It changes from one business to another and from one country to another. Maybe like as example, if you pay tips in some countries, it's accepted. And this tips is in another countries is considered a kind of like, I don't want to say abuse, but it is not preferable to do this. It's not like, because they might think that you are bribing them and trying to pass over something which will not pass legally. But this is a problem also, that the standards which of ethics may differ from a country to another country. Like I said before, as example, what is for the Muslims in the is haram is not like this for Christians or for Jewish or for other ethnics. So, or for the atheists. So everyone is having also, even we all agree on the main common, on the basics, but still there are differences in the ethics between one country and the other. Relative term, business ethics is a relative term, like we said. New concept, business ethic is a relatively newer concept. We didn't talk about it in management in the 50s and 60s and 70s of the previous decade. No one, or the previous century, there was no one talking about it so much. Okay, developed countries have more exposure to business ethics, while poor and developing countries are relatively backwards in applying the principles of business ethics. That's true. We'll come now to a very important point, which is the principles of the business ethics. What are the principles of the business ethics? And I will actually try to enlarge it as much as I can, so it will be helpful for all of us. Yeah, what are the principles of the business ethics? So the principles of business ethics are related to social groups that comprise of consumer, employees, investors, and the local community. The important rules or principles of business ethics are followed. Avoid exploitation of consumers. Do not cheat and do not exploit consumers with measures such as artificial price rise and adulteration. So don't cheat the consumers. This is the first thing. Do not cheat your consumers. This is one of the major business ethics rules that we have to follow. The second part is avoid profiteering. Unscrupulous business activities such as hoarding, black marketing, selling banned or harmful goods to earn exorbitant profits must be avoided. So don't be working black. Try to sell for others harmful products, not ozone friendly. All these kinds also is breaching the principles of business ethics. Encouraging healthy competition. A healthy competitive atmosphere that offers certain benefits to the consumer must be encouraged. So don't try to be to go for monopoly. Don't try to be sure that you are the only one, or try to control the markets through using marketing policies to control or seize the markets. Don't try to do this. Ensure accuracy. So like example, the disclosure of the information is very important here. Be honest. Don't tell the people lies about your situation or about your position. Encourage healthy, ensure accuracy, be accurate in your answers to questions of the people regarding the quality of goods or whatever. Pay taxes regularly, yes. Also be a good citizen and pay taxes regularly, and also get the accounts, let's say here, pay taxes regularly, get the accounts audited also, and everything. Fair treatment of employees. This is a very important point also. If you need to be an ethic, to go on ethics standards, you have to treat all the peoples equally. You have to treat all of them equally without any distinction between a person and another. Keep the investor always informed. Avoid injustice and discrimination. Do not discriminate as based on sex or race or age. Don't do discrimination between the people who are working with you. No bribe, no corruption. Okay, so don't use the bribing. Bribing is very bad because bribing will give a sign. It is a great sign of corruption in any society. And it might pass over things that might be stopped and might be abided by law, but the money will make it easy. So do not encourage using bribe. Discourage secret agreements. Service before profit. Make sure that you are satisfying the others either with goods or services that they will satisfy their needs, and put yourself in the second rank. Don't think about only the profits, to be selfish, to think about yourself only, and you don't put the consumer on and his desires and needs and wants in the second or the third rank. No, the consumer comes first, then after this you as a seller or as a producer. Just try to satisfy the consumer first. Once you get the consumer satisfaction 100%, then this will make the profits, but not to think only about making the profits without knowing very well, or rushing the consumer to buy your product, or deceiving the consumer by telling him lies to buy your product. All this, we call it business ethics. Also, avoid monopoly, like we said before. Practice fair business, fair, human, efficient, and dynamic, to offer certain benefits to the consumer. Always give the consumer benefits, like giving them discounts and so on. Fulfill customers' expectations. Let the customer expectation be better than what he expected from your product. So if he is expecting, as example, 90% satisfaction of your product, let your expectations, let the product be of a quality that it satisfies more expectation than what the consumer himself expected. So give him more satisfaction regarding your product or services. That will help to have more consumers and have loyalty, a consumer loyalty as well. Respect consumers' rights. Keep your consumers' rights always. Accept social responsibilities, and we'll talk now about the social responsibilities. It means that my company is not alone. I'm not working only for profits, but I am from this society, and I have to respect the society which I'm living in, and I have to be cooperative with that society, and I have to give him in back a part or a portion of the profits which I made, because I am here in this society. As example, I have programs for donation for the society, donation for hospitals, donation for the infrastructure to the governments. So you have to be helpful for the society with which you live and from which you earn. Satisfy consumer wants. That's what we said before. Service motives. Also, service and consumer satisfaction should get more attention than profit maximization. So once, make it like this when you apply the business ethics. Your consumer comes in the first place to satisfy him with your goods or services. The first goal to put in your brain is to satisfy your consumer with the best quality goods or services, so that his expectation will come to a very good, a positive opinion. then there will be a loyalty from his side to your products. Then in that case, the profits will come. If you do this, a good profits will come to you. So, but don't think in the start itself how to get profits and dissatisfy your consumers. Then the consumer will go and you will never see his face back. That's the point. Intention to business also. Use permitted legal and scared means to do business. Avoid illegal and evil means of business. Don't go on a crooked ways, on a wrong ways to achieve more profits. Follow Woodrow Wilson's rules also, like what we said before. Those are rules like same thing, avoid discrimination and so on, avoid monopoly. So here, rule of publicity, according to his principle, according to Woodrow Wilson's principle, the business must tell the people clearly what it tends to do. Also, so you have also rules of equivalent prices. The customer should get proper value of their money. Okay, I'm paying money to consume a good product, so I'm expecting that I sacrifice with money in favor of having a very high quality product. So don't disappoint your customer by giving him a low quality product or a quality that will never satisfy all his needs. Rule of equivalent prices also. Rule conscience in business. The business person must have conscience while doing business. As example, moral sense of judging what is right and what's wrong. So inside me, I should tell myself what I'm doing, is it right or wrong? Finishing this product, as example, finishing it with higher quality, not to come at the end, before the end, and just finish it very quickly, and some stages will be very bad done. No, from A to Z, I will care about the quality from a start of the fabric coming to the factory until this shirt is delivered to the consumer. So this all will be a point of concern of mine. I will have inside myself a conscious of making the right thing, and also asking myself, am I doing this is right, or what I'm doing is wrong in that case too. The rules of equivalent prices. We also will talk about the cyber crimes. Cyber crimes is more now, particularly after the invention of the revolution which we are living, the technological revolution which we are living now. So we have the cyber crimes everywhere now around us. If you open your cell phone, if you are not very awake and alert, you will be injured or touched by those kinds of spam or those type of cyber crimers. So let us now discuss the major types of cybercrime. The first one is the hacking. Hacking is an illegal practice by which a hacker breaches the computer security system of someone for personal interest. This is the hacking, and we all know about the hackers. And of course, this is unethical behavior, and this is not a good ethical. It's entirely bad and breaching the ethical standards when we do business as well. Hacking. It is a legal practice by which hackers breach the computer security, that's what we said, unwarranted mass surveillances. Mass surveillances mean surveillances of a substantial fraction of a group of people by the authority, especially for the security purposes. But if someone does it for personal interest, it is considered as cybercrime. So if I put a camera, a police officer has the right to put a camera. Cameras must be put in some places, and still even they are negotiating this point. But if it is for personal use, to get the information about the people and use it for, as example, you try to bargain them or take ransom from them for some information they have, or treating them with what you have for them of private cameras, you record cameras. No, this is not illegal, and this is unethical behavior. Child pornography, and this is known in the whole world. It is one of the most heinous crimes that is presently practiced across the world. Children are sexually abused, and videos are being made and uploaded on the internet for children abuse. Okay. Also, child grooming. It is the practice of establishing an emotional connection with a child, especially for the purpose of the child trafficking and child prostitution. This is also trying to show that we are angels, and the hidden reason is to make a good relationship with the children, so to take them for children trafficking or sex or prostitution. Also, let us go for the upper page, child grooming, copyright. Now we'll come for the also one of the points which is unethical, which is the copyright infringement. So this is another point which is very bad, and we handle this point in another place in this lectures and the copyright lectures. So I want you to get back to it to have in more details regarding it. Also, the money laundering. Illegal possession of money by an individual or an organization is known as money laundering. It typically involves transfer of money through foreign banks and legitimate business. In other words, it is the practice of transforming illegitimately earned money into a legitimate financial system. So I will change the money, I will wash it, not wash the money itself, but I make it. And instead of the resource, its resource is not like doing sexual trafficking or children trafficking or drugs promoting and selling and smuggling. No, it will take another, I will send it to another country and I will put like I was doing business with it. Then I return it back. This is my earns of business, but it's not my earns of illegal activities. This money laundering also, or money laundering, is one of the unethical behavior process which happen especially in some of the third world leaders and big heads in the governments. They do this, plus the smugglers and those also. Cyber extortion. When a hacker hacks someone's email server or computer system and demands money to reinstate the system, it is known as cyber extortion. Cyber extortion, like as example, you press on a link and you will find your computer all paralyzed, can't work. In that case, they will tell you pay money so that we will solve your problem back. This is also known as cyber extortion. It's known by the word cyber extortion. Cyber terrorism. Normally when someone hacks government security systems or intimidates government or such a big organizations to advance his political or social objectives and this we find it from time to time. The hackers, they go and invade governmental sites and totally paralyze their own computers or dysfunction or deactivate their work. Okay. Cyber security. What about the cyber security also? Cyber security is a potential activity by which information and other communication systems are protected from and or defend against the unauthorized use of modification. So this is the treatise and exploitation of even thefts. Likewise, cybersecurity is a well-designed technique to protect computers. So if those were problems from the cyber extortion and terrorism and so the cybersecurity is the remedy or the solution for all these types of problems. different programs, personals, and so on. Business ethics are considered to be blueprint for building a successful organization. So the business ethics are considered to be a blueprint for building successful organizations if an organization is built on a social response. And now we will talk about the social responsibility. So what do we mean by the word social responsibility? Social responsibility means I am living in a society, I am as a company doing a business in this society. I am earning profit. I should return back a part of this profit in figure of donations, in figure of donation to the infrastructure of this country, in just donations for hospitals, for building churches, mosques, Jewish temples, or any kind of temples for any ethnics, in just helping supporting the society in these social problems, in like all the way up of even the bus stand. If I made a shed on the bus stand or a place for the people like the umbrella to hide from the sun or to keep themselves while they are waiting for the buses from the cold and the snow, all this we say it is a social responsibility. Also, the social responsibility is the responsibility of my company to keep the environment safe and clean, to keep the environment safe and clean. This is also another type of social responsibility. Social responsibility also goes to the that I'm trying to help to cure or to heal up the problems of my society. As example, the employment. I should have to decrease the unemployment rate or increase by other meaning, increase the employment rates in my society. Okay, so to help the people, whatever they can to do. Okay, those are, and you hear also some companies, they pay for as a scholarship for students to complete their high studies in universities or whatever. The social responsibility takes, and also to have to produce a green products that is environmental friendly, and that goes with the standards of the ISO 14001. Those all are figures or types of the social responsibility. Okay, so how I can apply this principles for the corporate society or corporate social responsibility on my own company. Executive compensations rates during employee layoff. So I can give them a high rates in the times of the layoff, fair compensation for employees. This is another figure of the social responsibility. Give them a reasonable salaries that can be reliable for life. Okay. Okay. So if you didn't take these ethical points into the consideration, you will have the following problems. For sure, you will have the following problems. Poor company reputation. Your company would be, or if you are using the children to work in your factories, like a children trafficking, this is also a very bad consideration. It is illegal from a side and ethical from the other side. So also negative employees relation. If you didn't, or if you breach the norms of the behavior or the ethic principles in your work, don't think that you will survive. You will go down. That's the point. So because this will leads to the following. If you have a discrimination in between your employees, if you have a poor kind of payment, if you don't carry the social corporate responsibility, then you will have the following. You will have poor company reputation. The name of your company will be very bad in the market. All will know you as example, you are using children trafficking, you are using children to work for your factory, you are not paying the people well, you try to discriminate based on the age or the sex or the race. So all this will give you a bad reputation. You will never be able to build a good name, or what we call it, goodwill, in the business. You will have a very bad name, and sooner or later you will decline. Negative employees relations. In that case, if you don't follow the ethical rules, people will be in conflict in your company. If you don't follow the ethical rules, there will be a great conflict in your company, and there will be a lot of problems between the workers, a lot of conflict, confusion, and struggles, which will let the productivity go down, and your rate of interest, or your ROI, return on investment, sooner or later will go down. Also, you will have recruitment and retention problems, and you will have lost your reputation in general. You will lose your reputation. So what you are supposed to do to keep on a good ethics in your company? Make sure leaders understand the issues at hand and have gathered all the facts related to it. For the ethical decision making, make sure of these points. Leaders should list all of the facts they know and list any assumption they are making about an issue. Notice all the concerns related to the issue. Construct a potential solution to the problem. Evaluate the proposed solution. Make sure to consider all the ethical aspects must be there in this solution. Don't ignore, don't discard the ethical aspects. Once leaders have come to a solution, they recommend it, as well as any action that need to be taken. So in that case, you have a good leaders who understand the decision-making process. You have good leaders who put in concern and comprehend very well the ethical needs and requirements, that it is mandatory to apply the ethical process for business. And you had make a participation between the leaders and the workers in decision making, so you didn't ignore them. You did not discriminate between the workers who are working for you. There are also point that you have to establish a code of conduct, like you see here, to educate and guide others in the organization. Set an ethic or a code of conduct should be developed, and distributed. Everybody will know it. Everybody will know the legal consideration. Everybody will know the standards of the ethics that should be applied in your company. Corporate social responsibility, the concept is catching on at companies that range in size from all small startups companies to the large companies, whatever the number is. In the following, you will learn what social responsibility and how to do with it. So if you are applying the social responsibility norms, you will have improved perceptions of investors, enhanced performance. For going green means you are producing environmentally friendly products, contracting for success, and the benevolent halo effect. When customers understand the commitment that an organization has to be to being socially responsible, its image becomes more positive. So your image will become more, and you will have a halo effect. So everyone will say, will pinpoint that this is a very respectful company. They work based on the norms, and they work based on what's supposed to be legally and ethically. Consistency of efforts and partnerships as well. Also, if you will work on the social responsibility criteria, you will have a talent attraction. Many companies offer employees paid time off to participate in volunteers activities, including travel to other nations. Who wouldn't want to work for a company that cares so much about a personal cause? So yeah, so as example, if we say that we'll send our workers to help 1 week in the earthquake of, as example, what happened in Zambia, then this company's reputation and name will be very good in the whole world, because it shows that this company is not only working for profits, and they are putting a great focus on the ethical criteria. Customer influence. A major benefit engaging in corporate social responsibility efforts is that consumers regularly check in with their favorite brands to see what they are doing. Yes, so as example, I use ABC kind of shoes. So from a time to time, I see, is ABC using small children in production of these shoes or no? If they are using small children, which is illegal and unethical work, then I will regret of buying their products back. But if they are doing donations and they are very good and they produce good products, friendly environment, and they don't do children trafficking in work, they let the children work for them, and so on, and they pay taxes in time and they don't do tax evasion. When that time I say this company has ethical criteria and they are on the right path and they have social responsibility, so I would like them so much. That was the point which I want to talk about in the social responsibility and the corporate social responsibility and the business ethics, which we covered here. Shall see you in the next lectures. Thank you so much.